So, is my Instagram strategy, that Instagram strategy that has over 100,000 views on YouTube, still working? Short answer, you know what? To be fair, yeah, it is. But the long answer, it could be better. So, let's talk about it. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I make videos on this channel to be your guide through this content creator journey. If you're already subscribed, well, we're besties. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you become a subscriber so you don't miss any of my future videos all about being a content creator and my Instagram growth strategy tips. So let's dive into my Instagram Insights report for March of 2022. This is a series I've been doing on my YouTube channel throughout this year so far, where I let you know how my Instagram strategy has been working for me, and I show you the real results inside the Insights tab on my Instagram account, so you can get an honest look at how these strategies that I teach actually play out. We've got some interesting metrics to look at this month, which I think will give us an indication of how well that strategy that I mentioned at the beginning has been working for me, and I'm going to talk about some changes that I might be making to improve upon it. So let's open up Instagram and I will share my screen with y'all. We're going to pop into Instagram, head over to my profile, and then tap on the Insights button. Okay, so first step is to change our date range from March 1st to 30th. Overall, we're seeing some pretty good results here. I'm seeing that my accounts reached has increased, as well as my accounts engaged, and of course, my total followers. Your girl has officially hit 30K followers, which I'm so excited about. In my last video, I was kind of aiming for that for February, but we got there by the end of March. If you watch my previous Insights reviews, then you'll know that these are kind of the three most important metrics when it comes to understanding your growth. That's why Instagram puts them right front and center. So we're going to dive into each of these individually and talk about what they mean. Okay, so if we pop over to accounts reached, you can see at the top, it gives you your total number, shows you kind of where that audience is, what their age range is, and then we get to the interesting part. You can see how many of the accounts you reached were your followers or were people that are not following you yet. You can see that I definitely reached more non-followers, which is really exciting. To me, this is a good sign. This is what we want to aim for if you are working towards further growth. The more people that you reach that aren't following you yet, the more chances you have to get new followers. Okay, now looking under content reach, this is what I find really fascinating. This is the first time since I started making reels when they were released about 1.5 years ago that I have seen my content reach be higher for my posts than it was for my reels. That blows me away because reels literally have their own special little tab on Instagram that is specifically for seeing content from people that you are not following yet. So reels have a huge amount of discoverability. That's why I've been preaching to you to make reels on this channel for 1.5 years because it's so effective. So it blows my mind that I have been able to actually create shareable posts that are showing up on the explore page enough that my post reach is higher than my reels reach. Like, I can't even believe that. Of course, stories is going to be the lowest because pretty much only people that are already following you see your stories. And even within that, it's going to be like a small percentage of your total followers who see your stories. So this is really fascinating to me. Let's look into my top posts and try to figure out maybe why they perform so well. First of all, I'm surprised about this first post that has 16,000 reach. I actually don't really know why this one has popped off so much because this is literally just a carousel of photos of me. Now, if we get into the caption, I'm talking about being consistent on Instagram and like how to do that. If we go further into the insights, we can see 1,300 likes. That's really good for me. A good number of saves, not a ton of shares. And I've actually reached more non-followers with this post than I have existing followers, and a lot of them you can see are from the explore page. So clearly this post got some good engagement and got picked up and shown on the explore pages of people who aren't following me yet. 157 of those non-followers engaged with my post, and you can see that I got 58 new followers from it. So that's super cool. To me, that is a really good indication that these sort of more high quality photo shoots paired with tips and tricks about Instagram and social media growth is definitely a direction I should continue going with my content. And it's kind of a pleasant surprise because I honestly thought that those types of posts were kind of out, like not really trendy anymore because reels have been so huge. But clearly, if you do it well, it still works. Now, these next two posts are not a big surprise for me because they're both super shareable. This weekly content calendar for growth, let's be real, I thought it was a good post. I knew it was gonna do well because it's just cute and shareable and really easy to read. If we go deeper into the insights, you can see it got a lot of saves, like 700 saves. It almost has as many saves as it has likes, which again is a good reminder to remember that likes are not the metric you need to be looking at to know whether or not your content was successful. I think a lot of us lean towards that because we think that, you know, likes are the most important thing. It's the number that shows up publicly. So it's easy to kind of just glance at that and think, oh, that post didn't do so well. But like, girl, look into the insights because you might have a ton of saves that you didn't even realize you had. So you can see again, about half and half split, a little bit more followers than non-followers saw this post. And if we scroll down again to engagement, we got some good engagement from our non-follower friends. And I got 28 new followers from this post. Overall, I think what these top posts are telling me is that these types of posts where I didn't even think this would get a lot of engagement, to be honest, but again, this is another carousel where the caption is kind of talking through that concept that I was just explaining about how like likes aren't the primary success metric, that kind of thing. So really, these types of posts where it's like high quality images in a carousel with a informative or encouraging caption or shareable graphics, that's the way to go when it comes to feed content. And it's so successful that it's outperforming my reels in terms of reach, which blows my mind. Okay, now let's look more into my reels. So I kind of find it funny that my top 3 reels, I'm wearing the same t-shirt in all of them. I don't think that's why they did so well. But you can see that kind of sentimental reels like this, they tend to do well. Like I've posted ones like this before where it was like kind of me looking back on my year or whatever. People love to kind of hop in and like congratulate you for your progress. So to me, that kind of makes sense why this one did so well. And then this is kind of just like a funny one where I'm doing one of those typical like lip syncing a little quote. These next few, I feel like I can definitely see why they perform well because they're tutorials and there's a really clear and like valuable takeaway for the audience. And I feel like this format of tutorials is definitely something I can keep leaning into. When it comes to these first two, which are more based on trends, you don't always come across trends that are gonna like work really well for you. But when it comes to tutorials, that's something I can keep replicating. So that's super interesting. Honestly, I am just like so intrigued by this graph right here. Like the fact that my posts were able to get more reach than my reels. If you want to learn more about how to do that with your posts, then you should check out the video that I made about how to grow on Instagram without using reels. Obviously, I do use reels, but you can see I would still have really great results even if I wasn't because my posts are doing well. Okay, let's talk about engagement next. And also don't mind the shine that I have acquired since starting to film this video because I am in Palm Springs right now and it's hot and I've got to close the windows so that the audio is good. So don't judge me. Hey there! Are you enjoying the video so far? Good, then hopefully you won't mind if I just take a quick minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community filled with thousands of classes for creative and curious people like you and me. On Skillshare, you can learn from tons of different experts on topics around social media marketing, graphic design, photography, video editing, productivity, and so much more. I would personally recommend checking out my YouTube friend, Marissa Romero's course on Skillshare. It's called How to Use YouTube to Build and Grow a Business, and trust me, if you like my videos about growing on Instagram to help your career as a content creator or as a small business owner, then you're gonna love Marissa's course about how to use YouTube to do the same. Something else I love about Skillshare is that it's totally ad-free, so you can have a blissfully distractionless learning experience on Skillshare. Plus, now the entire catalog of courses is subtitled in 5 different languages. We've got English, we've got Spanish, we've got German, we've got French, we've got Portuguese, whatever language you want to learn in, you can do that, my friend. Of course, I'd recommend checking out Marissa's course, but there are hundreds more courses that you can browse, learn from, and be inspired by over on Skillshare. And the first 1,000 of you to use the link in the description or my code will get a free month of Skillshare Premium membership. So go ahead and check out that link in my description. Copy and paste that code, y'all, and try out Skillshare for yourself. Okay, back to the video. Okay, let's look at engagement. Really, these numbers just track with the reach. You can see that the same post that got a lot of reach also got a good amount of engagement. I do find it interesting though that you see like photos of me tend to be overrepresented in the top posts based on likes. But if we would go in and organize this, do the last 30 days, you can see top posts based on likes, it's photos of me. But if we change this to saves, you'll see that, oh, dang, it's these graphics that got so much reach. So again, just a reminder that likes aren't everything. But yeah, overall, engagement has kind of increased in the same trend that reach has increased, which is good to see. However, my story interactions have definitely decreased. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure why this would be. Maybe it's because I'm posting on stories too often. I'm not like asking for engagement enough. I don't know, but it's definitely something that I want to work on because stories are a huge part of my Instagram strategy. I spend a lot of time posting stories every single day and I love to interact with my community there through story replies. So it's something that I'm gonna think about, figure out how I can kind of make them a little bit more engaging or get a few more responses. Going back to our top post section just for a second, something that I always like to look at is top posts organized by follows. So I'm just gonna, again, put this to the last 30 days. And again, this is super fascinating to me. I swear y'all, I didn't even notice this before I started filming this video, that this post is like my top performing post from the past month. Like that legit surprises me so much. Like that it brought in even more new followers than the weekly content calendar graphic. Cause you can see, look at the other photos of me. 6 new followers, 4 new followers, 0 new followers. But girl, this one, 58. And it's because it got shown on the explore page so much. So that's pretty cool. Definitely gonna have to plan some more desert photo shoots because clearly there's something about that that's working. So to summarize all of this, let's look at the total followers and see what the outcome is there. So overall in the last 30 days, I gained just about 1,500 new followers. You can see a huge spike yesterday, and that is because I had a reel get reshared by the Later account on Instagram, which has, I don't know, I think like 400,000 followers or something like that. So about 300 people at least came over to my profile because of that. So that's fun. But otherwise, as you can see, it's kind of just been my regular slow and steady growth throughout the month. And overall, I'm pretty happy with that. This does bring me back to what I brought up at the very beginning of the video, which is the question of, is my strategy still working? Now, I gained 1,500 new followers this month. My reach was up, my engagement was up. Really nothing to complain about there. That's why I was saying like, yeah, it pretty much is still working. However, I'm not seeing increased growth as much as I thought I might. Like February really was my top performing month so far. If you go back and like look at my insights reports that I've been doing, in February, I gained almost 2,000 new followers and I posted less because it was a shorter month. So there was like less days to post on. March was longer, had more posts, and I gained less new followers. So all of this is making me think, while this strategy is solid, like there's nothing wrong with it, I'm clearly seeing good results, I feel like it could be optimized further. And I'm also thinking like moving into the summer season when a lot of people are spending less time on their phones, and I hope to as well, that maybe taking a slightly more minimalist approach may be a good balance. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be releasing an updated video of my new Instagram strategy for the summer of 2022. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, because I'm going to go completely in depth into what this new approach is going to look like and how it's not necessarily that this strategy isn't performing as well as I want it to. Like it's doing fine, but I think that I want to try out a different content creation routine and have a sort of different relationship with Instagram over the summer. And so I think my content strategy is going to have to change because of that. And I'm just really curious to see what the results are going to look like if I post less often, batch less far in advance, and maybe spend a little bit more time engaging. So if you're curious to see how my Instagram growth is going to be affected by posting less often and maybe being a little bit more spontaneous, then again, subscribe, because I make these insights reviews every month to be transparent with you about how my Instagram's growing. And I wouldn't want you to miss my future videos. Until then, go check out this video about my content batching process here in the van. It took me a week to film and 2 days to edit, so this is my Mona Lisa. Please go watch it. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!